Building humility has been one of the most rewarding things about scribble practice for me. And the following 11 key traits are present in most humble people. I'm offering a little practice with loose art creating in the sketchbook to help you build these 11 traits.
Humility means being exactly who you are in the world, authentic. You can practice authentic expression by showing up in your sketchbook and making marks that feel good in each moment, building trust in your authentic decisions moment to moment. You know that no matter how your sketches look in the end, you expressed authentically and are continuously building the authenticity muscle. Here's the secret. With scribbles, it's actually not about art at all. It's all about building these life skill muscles so you can show up in the world as yourself with ease. A humble person has a good understanding of their own strengths and weaknesses and will happily share both with anyone who's interested. This isn't something we can learn by watching self-improvement videos, nor does it make sense to do so. There's nothing to be improved. Simply sit down with your sketchbook and some colors and start scribbling. You'll begin to see your strengths and weaknesses with clarity. Accept them both with as much love and adoration as you can muster. What I'm about to share makes me laugh. Last week, one of our community members shared that when you mix one paint color with many other colors and use them all on a page, that first color you started with is called the mother color. I'd never ever heard of this concept. And then when I was searching the scribble practice archives from months ago, I came across this activity, which is my silly discovery of exactly what she was sharing about. I did an art activity without knowing the name for it, and I just love that. There's always something to learn in this life, and being open and humble enough to admit you don't know something opens so many doors. I did this activity with the color Opera, mixing many of my other favorite colors with it, but you can use any color as your mother color. During scribble practice, I'm constantly working through feelings of judgment toward myself, and I'm worrying about how others viewing these practices might judge me when they see them. But here's the truth. 10 years ago, when I started scribble practice for myself, I was so afraid of these judgments, there's no way I would have shared them with people. I even hid that I was scribbling from my family, choosing to make scribbles in secret when no one else was around. So put some green marks on a page and judge yourself. Judge yourself a lot. Each time you judge yourself, notice it. Love yourself for your judgment. Then try and let it go. Each time you do this, you're on your way to non-judgmental humility. Humble people show accountability for their actions. Check in with yourself. What's actually important to you? Don't count things that other people have told you are important, or things you think should be important. If you're unsure what's truly important to you, take that to the scribbles. Say out loud, I'd like to know what's truly important to me. And then make a mark that feels good on the page, and another and another. You'll be surprised by what answers will come and how clear they might be. Build humility by becoming clear on what's important to you and hold yourself accountable to those things alone. Humble people are quick to forgive. I practice forgiving myself for making mistakes a lot during scribble sessions. The more I practice forgiving myself on the page, the easier it is to forgive myself for eating that pint of ice cream that made me feel terrible. The more I can forgive myself the ice cream, the easier it is for me to see that other people are just doing the best they can in the situations they're in. Make a lot of mistakes on the page and forgive yourself for making them. Start a page in your sketchbook right now that's a total mistake, and then make another mistake, and another. You might end up with a page full of forgiveness, which is an absolutely beautiful thing.
If scribble practice is helpful for you, I am so grateful to hear that. You might also want to consider financially supporting this channel. Just look for the heart in the description box below, and there's a link right beside it you can click on. If you donate a certain amount, I will send you a hand-painted postcard with a message of gratitude on the back, and I'll send them anywhere in the world. Let's get this gratitude train going.
A humble person has strong listening skills, and in scribble practice, we're practicing our listening skills with each mark. When you create without an agenda, you need to listen to what mark each moment is asking for. Once you hear what is needed, you're taking it one step further and becoming an active listener by placing that mark on the page, no matter what your mind says about it. Practice this by sitting with your sketchbook and supplies and waiting to hear what your first mark needs to be. Once you get a sense, make that mark. Vulnerability feels hard because we are sharing our insecurities and imperfections. Humility requires vulnerability. Something I've noticed, the more that I share my insecurities and imperfections, the less power they have over me. The power seemingly vanishes to the point that I'm like, oh yeah, last year that was really hard for me, and now I do it every day. This goes almost unnoticed because I'm often moved on to the next layer of vulnerability that's hard. There isn't one specific activity here that I'm going to recommend, but rather an encouragement to do something that feels a wee bit vulnerable for you. That might be picking up a pen and making a scribble on a page. It might be sharing a finished scribble you like with a trusted friend. It might be sharing this video with someone and letting them know why you like it. It might be using a supply you have no idea how to use. Sharing this piece feels vulnerable to me because there is form in it, and I feel more comfortable with colors and abstract shapes. Humble people take time to reflect on their actions and consider how they might do things similarly or differently if given the chance. Opportunities for reflection present themselves regularly during scribble practice. Recently, I even realized I'd stopped playing without purpose, my number one mantra, and was only scribbling for the purpose of these videos. I've rectified that since by starting an off-screen scribble practice that's just for me. Every time you give yourself space to scribble for a few minutes is an opportunity for reflection. To be resilient means you can pick yourself up when you fall. To build humility, you have to be willing to fall, and so you're going to have to learn to pick yourself up too. Starting this YouTube channel filled with scribble practices is an exercise in resilience for me. There are high highs and low lows I need to bounce back from. In your sketchbook today, feel those feels of highs and lows as you move your pen in peaks and valleys on the page. A humble person is able to celebrate the accomplishments of themselves and others without jealousy, envy, or pride. They can accept accolades with grace and celebrate others with ease and pure joy. There is an understanding that everyone's accomplishments leads to the greater good of the whole. Try celebrating yourself today by writing your name on a page in your sketchbook. Write it as many times as feels fun, and then decorate the page. Celebrate yourself and know that you are enough as you are. And then maybe pass on some accolades to other people and celebrate them and their accomplishments too. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on these 11 traits of humble people and which one you're looking to work on more. If you'd like to go deeper into any of these activities, you can click on this playlist here.